All right, check this out. If you got a product or service that wants to reach over 700,000 plus consumers weekly, email digitalsoapboxnetwork.com for advertising rates and let them know the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast sent you. Y'all want an opportunity? Let's go. What's good and what up? It's your brother Sam Ant here at Viral Hip Hop News. Do me a favor, family, before we get started with the content. Y'all know what to do. Go up top and hit that like button. All right, so we all been wondering since free agency started where Kawhi Leonard would go, where the pieces would fall. We all seen Durant and Kyrie go to Brooklyn. We seen Kemba go to Boston. We seen players land in Philly, Miami, Los Angeles, the Lakers. We've all seen it all. But one person in particular we are wondering about is Kawhi Leonard, coming off the MVP championship run, reigning NBA champion with the Toronto Raptors. Where would Kawhi Leonard go? Well, in the wee hours of Saturday morning on the East Coast, just about Saturday morning on the West Coast, Kawhi Leonard had made his decision. And man, oh man, it is a big one. Kawhi Leonard signed with the LA Clippers. That's right, the Clippers. On a 4-year, $141 million contract, league sources told ESPN. Now, to just make matters even worse for the NBA, better for the Clippers are sending Oklahoma City their unprotected 2022, 24, 26 picks, their unprotected 2021 and projected 2023 first-round picks via Miami, and the rights to swap picks for the Clippers in 2023 and 2025. League sources for who? Paul fucking George. Now, this one right here is an absolute shocker, especially coming off of Paul George finding a big contract last year to stay with Russell Westbrook. Kawhi Leonard knew exactly where he wanted to go, knew exactly who he wanted, and was letting the pieces fall in place. He let the Clippers know, listen, if I come here, you can't send me here alone. I love the team, how it's constructed with Patrick Beverley, Lou Williams, and things like that, but I need another two-way player, another two-way superstar to get this done if you want me to handle LeBron James and Anthony Davis across the street, deal with the Warriors, deal with the Nuggets, deal with the East Coast. I need a team that can win a chip. And the owner of the Clippers, Doc Rivers, and the staff just delivered it. I see the LA Clippers winning the NBA Finals next year. The way they're set up, this just took the NBA by storm. Check out pre-recorded content from the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast we recorded on July 4th, speculating because we knew that it would be coming now on where he would go. At that time, the Clippers were even out of it, but we were talking about the landscape of the NBA, whether or not he would be better in LA with the Lakers or in Toronto with the Raptors. But now he's with the Clippers, and I think this is the best destination for him. This gives so much balance and competition to the NBA. The Western Conference is going to be better than ever next year. The East is better than ever next year. I can't wait for the NBA, even on the heels of the NFL starting their season up. Oh, what a great day to be an NBA fan. Y'all check out the commentary on the back end of this video, speculating where Kawhi would go. Enjoy the content. Let me know what you think of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George going to the LA Clippers this year. Is this the missing piece for the Clippers to bring home an NBA title in LA? Is this the piece to finally change over the complexion of sports and basketball in LA from the Lakers to the Clippers? I mean, because the Lakers, they stacked too. Oh, this is going to be a great year. Y'all leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Enjoy the commentary on the back end. It's the Sam Ant Viral Hip Hop News, one half of the most dangerous, most underrated podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, and everywhere else to date. The Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Enjoy the commentary on the back end. I'm out of here. Peace.
And we can kind of get it in, go raw up in this joint, man. But yeah, man, definitely excited to get to it though.
Indeed, man. So what we got today? What we got first, man? When we start with Kawhi, man.
Yeah.
You watch sports in the morning, which we do. We were really getting back into it, something we used to do as kids a lot. Nothing but Kawhi. All day, every day. Now, we've had free agency drop last Sunday at 6 p.m. We've seen where the main names would go, but the main name out there, defending NBA champion MVP, Kawhi Leonard, has yet to pick a team. Now, as far as we know right now, the main teams involved are the LA Lakers and the Toronto Raptors. So he's taking this final meeting with the staff over at the Toronto Raptors organization to finalize his agreement or finalize whether or not he's going to leave or stay. It's a lot going on, man. It's a lot of reports. Jalen Rose saying he was going to sign a 2-year and then max out for the super max 10-year contract, or at the 10-year mark of his career, he can sign for a super max after the second year's payout. You got other people, Chris Broussard, saying that, nah, hold your phone. LA still a serious contender. He's just worried about the whole super team dynamic. Oh, God. You've been watching this closely, man. What is your thoughts on Kawhi Leonard and where he's going to end up, man?
ESPN has been doing a lot of commentary on it. I think I seen one video where it was like the title was, if Kawhi goes to the Lakers, they're going to ruin the NBA. I've seen all kind of outlandish stuff, but it's just like, I would like to see him, in LA. And remember the last podcast that we had, I pretty much said, look, I'm willing to bet that he's going to LA. Now, I seen this image on Instagram. It was a video where they showed him getting off the private jet in Toronto and, him going to the facility. And I'm kind of thinking that he may opt to stay in Toronto. I mean, they still got a real great team there. And I think you got guys, that might go elsewhere that are waiting on his decision to see, okay, if Kawhi goes back to Toronto, then I'm going to go back, and try to, repeat down there in Toronto. But again, I would love to see him go to the Lakers. But if I was a betting man, I would give it 51 Toronto, 49 LA at this point. It's close.
This is why I want to see him go back to Toronto. And it took me some time because I'm thinking about the star power that he would have had with the Lakers. I'm thinking about the possibility of him going to the Clippers, going home, and really just jumpstarting the Clippers organization that took a backseat to B team to the LA Lakers and giving them a real solidified chance at going to an NBA championship and winning. If Kawhi goes to the Lakers, there's no chance for anybody in the fucking league. They're done. They're going to win the NBA championship for years to come. Set up the nucleus once LeBron leaves, Kawhi and AD doing anything and wreaking havoc in the LA for years to come. This is why I would love to see them go, or see Kawhi go to Toronto, because I believe that if he goes to Toronto, then obviously the balance of power shifts back to Toronto. But you got a lot of good teams that got a lot better in the East.
That's a good point,
and it's going to be some great competition going on, going through the playoffs. And I just think it will be exciting. I honestly believe, and you'll love me to hear this, or love to hear this, I think Philly is the team to beat in the East right now. I think if they get their team together and start gelling and do their thing, if all components can stay healthy, if Ben Simmons can get his shot together, just got a nice little deal. If Embiid can stay healthy with the nucleus they got around them, they're going to be the best defense in the league. I think they're going to beat the Toronto Raptors and dethrone them in the East and go to the finals against somebody in the West and have a great series and a possibility to win a championship this year. But I want to see them go through a Kawhi Leonard-led Toronto Raptors and really go and take that shit.
So would you say that the statement is true if Kawhi went to the Lakers, it'll ruin the NBA? Because like you said, if he stays on the East, then now you're suddenly looking at, you got Durant going to Brooklyn, the Sixers popping, the Celtics, all these teams now that are competing, as opposed to one or two, which that if he goes to the Lakers, nobody's going to beat him, West or East. So would you say that's true, that if Kawhi goes to the Lakers, that it's going to ruin the NBA even more?
I wouldn't go to that route because I think we've already seen the absolute worst that we can see as far as the super team in Kevin Durant going to the Warriors, especially them coming off of a historic win season, losing in Game 7 in the NBA Finals, and then grabbing Kevin Durant, arguably one of the top two players in the league, on top of an already NBA championship team. I mean, the balance of power was crazy. You're adding Kawhi Leonard to a situation where we're already 3 years removed from Golden State doing it, a decade removed from LeBron doing it with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. So I don't think that it ruining the league takes as much effect as it ruined the league 3 years ago, or it may ruin the league 10 years ago. I think the popularity with the NBA and the global popularity that we're seeing it grow more and more and more, I don't think the NBA really can do no wrong. I think that they'll market it right. The competition will be great, even in the NBA playoffs, because LeBron James is that name, and because these three mega names are together, people are still going to watch. They may complain, but they're still going to watch. But I would love, as far as competition is concerned, and an NBA fan that just wants to see good ball, I think Kawhi Leonard in the East with Toronto really just shifts the competition balance of power in the entire.
Where you got
NBA.
him going? You got him going to Toronto or the Lakers?
My gut tells me Toronto. My gut tells me he's staying. They got Drake pitching with him now. OVO, motherfucker might do a record next week. You never know what's going to happen. They're throwing everything at him. What I will say is, and this is hard to say, but I'm going to stay by my word. He would get more love in LA than he would in Toronto. He would get more love, even though, I mean, he has a entire country behind him. You got a basketball team in a Canadian hockey country. So basketball is always going to come second to their hockey teams. It doesn't matter how shitty the hockey teams are. In LA, the Lakers, in your hometown, man, you the fucking dude, bro.
And that's the thing, and also you got to look at the NBA. It's about, one, getting the most money that you can, and then two, win a championship. So in my opinion, I don't think that they have a good chance of repeating if he stays in Toronto.
I was going to ask you that. What's the percentage? What do you think he has a better chance next year to win a championship?
Obviously in LA. I mean, if he goes to LA, it's going to skyrocket. I mean, even though it's in the Western Conference, but Maybe he, I think he has a lot, even though that's his hometown in LA, I think he has a lot riding for him for Toronto, to stay there. Like you said, it's a hockey town, but it's slowly starting to turn over to now a basketball town where they're starting to embrace, the team way more than they ever did. So they're trying to change that tide up there in Toronto and in Canada, period. So, but, again, I think 51 Toronto, I wouldn't be surprised if you picked LA and just say, you know what, I'm going to cut my ties, because, again, you could be talking about the difference of him winning maybe 2 or 3 more rings if he goes to LA, or if he stays in Toronto winning 0.
Let me throw this aspect in here, and this is a major aspect we got to think about. Now, if Jalen Rose is correct, if he signs for 2 years and he's eligible for that super max after his 10-year in the NBA, and that Kawhi Leonard is going to ball out and demand that super max, we're talking about $250 to $300 million guaranteed.
Right.
So from a business perspective, if you're Kawhi Leonard, because none of us know what he's thinking. You got your LA, you got your hometown, you got Toronto, where you're obviously revered, you can do no wrong, and then you got 250 to 300 million reasons to stay. What you're thinking? What would you do?
I think I would still go to LA.
Yeah,
and I think he's going to make that. He's going to get that either way. I think he'll clean that up. Either way you look at it, but it's going to be a tough decision. I can't wait to hear it, because everybody's talking about it. But again, something's telling me he's in Toronto to stay for at least a few more years.
Breaking news. The second it drops, you're going to see this commentary.
Yeah.
And we'll know then. Y'all can leave it in the comment section. Let us know what you think. Let us know who was right. Were we right? Toronto will sign Kawhi Leonard again, or were we wrong and he's going to the Lakeshore and winning the championship next year? We will see.
Yeah, definitely. But you are tuned into the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast right now. If you're listening on iTunes, Spotify, or Google Play, and you like the content that you're listening to, 1, do not forget to subscribe, and 2, go ahead and give us a 5-star rating. Let us know how much you enjoy the content. Please do not leave here without doing that. This next story right here is a real